Welcome to Millennium Around the World News. This is Ifat Fatima with top stories. Clinton-Trump duel in must-win states in a tightening race. New CNN ORC poll suggests new strength for Trump in Nevada, Clinton rise in Florida. Early voting update, black vote declining with 24.4 million ballots cast. Clinton accuses Trump of bullying women. Obama warns fate of world at stake. Ohio taps National Guard to defend election system from hackers. ISIL leader Baghdadi confident of Mosul battle victory. PM warns of tougher action against any case like 2015. Maritime ports asked to host signal number 3. And rain washes out fourth BPL T20 opener. Those were the headlines, now the details. Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump squared off in do-or-die North Carolina with dueling rallies in the home stretch of a bitter, hard-fought U.S. presidential race that is tightening by the day. As the candidates jostle and joust for supremacy in the handful of battleground states that will decide the November 8 election. Two of the biggest prizes on the electoral map, Florida and North Carolina, have narrowed into absolute dead hits, according to Real Clear Politics poll aggregates. Democrat Clinton unleashed top surrogates including President Barack Obama to encourage her in the election's homestretch, while billionaire Trump deployed wife Melania to soften the brash Republicans' image. North Carolina was suddenly in the eye of the political storm, with the candidates frantically crisscrossing the southeastern state where they are locked at 46.4% apiece. In an increasingly cat-and-mouse game, their two motorcades even passed one another on the tarmac at the Raleigh-Durham airport ahead of their rival rallies. Both the Clinton and Trump campaigns have hit the ground hard in Arizona, Florida, Nevada, and Pennsylvania, and new CNN ORC polls across the four states paint a picture of a tight race to the finish in critical battlegrounds. Clinton holds a 4-point edge among likely voters in the historically blue-tilting Pennsylvania, and Trump tops Clinton by 5 with voters in red-leaning Arizona. Though both states tilt in the same direction as their 2012 results, the leaders' margins are tighter than their predecessors' final leads were in each state. Florida appears to be as tight a contest as ever, with Clinton at 49% among likely voters and Trump at 47%. That's an apparent shift in Clinton's direction since the last CNN ORC poll there is September before the presidential debates began, but still a within margin of error race. In Nevada, the poll suggests the race has also shifted, with Trump now ahead there 49% to 43%, with 5% behind Libertarian Gary Johnson, compared with a 2-point Clinton edge in mid-October. A dip in African-American turnout has knocked Democratic early voting numbers off their 2012 pace in key battleground states like North Carolina. The trend is also evident in early vote data from other swing states that could play key roles in deciding the election, including Florida and Georgia. More Latino voters, however, are among the more than 24.4 million American voters who have already cast their ballots, including 12.4 million in battleground states, according to a CNN analysis of the latest early voting numbers. Republicans appear to be in better position than they were in previous presidential election in Florida, Iowa, North Carolina, and Ohio, while Democrats have improved their standing in Colorado and Arizona. Democratic nominee Hillary Clinton has looked past a fresh inquiry about her emails to label rival Donald Trump a bully who insults women. Mrs. Clinton said Mr. Trump had a 30-year history of demeaning, degrading, insulting, and assaulting women. Meanwhile, Mr. Trump has branded Mrs. Clinton corrupt and said she would destroy American healthcare forever. He told early Clinton voters with buyer's remorse they could change their vote in 4 states. The clashes came as the fractious contest entered its final week, with opinion polls appearing to show the race getting tighter. The prospect of a Trump presidency sent Asian financial markets tumbling, appearing to confirm some analysis' view that the markets believe a Clinton victory would bring more stability for the U.S. economy. President Barack Obama has urged Democrats of all ethnic backgrounds to get out and vote for Hillary Clinton, warning that the fate of the U.S. Republic and the world is at stake. He said her Republican opponent Donald Trump was a threat to hard-earned civil rights. President Obama was speaking at a rally in North Carolina. Mr. Trump said Mr. Obama should stop campaigning for Mrs. Clinton and focus on running the country. The bottom line is no one wants 4 more years of Obama, he told supporters in Pensacola, Florida. The FBI is now investigating new emails that may be linked to its probe into Clinton's private email server. The agency's director, James Comey, has faced a fierce backlash for announcing the move just 11 days before the presidential election. Earlier, Obama implicitly criticized him over the new inquiry into Clinton's email. In an interview with website Now This New, Obama said U.S. investigations should not operate on the basis of innuendo of incomplete information. Ohio is calling upon the National Guard to help defend the state's election system from hackers. Let's face it, cyber warfare is a new front for the military, for business, and now for elections, said Ohio Secretary of State Jon Husted. To combat that threat, Husted has done something unprecedented in the state's history. He has called on the Ohio National Guard's elite cyber protection unit to help secure the election. The National Guard takes order from the state's governor. The Ohio National Guard Cyber Unit's election mission consists of specialized teams running penetration tests on the state's computer networks. That means the team is trying to hack the state's network to find vulnerabilities hackers might exploit. The team is also searching the state's election system for cruel activity, like a detective casing a scene to find evidence of a crime. So far, 46 states are now seeking protection from the Department of Homeland Security to fend off cyber attacks against their election systems. ISIL leader Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi has expressed confidence in victory in his first message after US-backed Iraqi forces started an offensive to take back Mosul, the last major city under control of his group in Iraq. He also called on Islamic State of Iraq and the Levant fighters to invade Turkey. This raging battle and total war and the great jihad that the State of Islam is fighting today only increases our firm belief, God willing, and our conviction that all this is a prelude to victory, he said in an audio recording released online by supporters. Al Jazeera could not verify the authenticity of the 31-minute-long recording. Turkish police detained almost a dozen MPs from the country's main pro-Kurdish party, including its 2 co-leaders, as 8 people were killed in a deadly car bombing blamed on Kurdish militants. People's Democratic Party co-leaders Selahattin Demirtas and Figen Yüksekdag appeared before judges in the city of Diyarbakir, who would decide whether to remand them in custody, the state-run Anadolu news agency said. As the hearings got underway, a blast by the outlawed Kurdistan Workers' Party stuck outside a police station nearby in the Baglar district of Diyarbakir, Turkey's main majority Kurdish city. 8 people were killed, including 2 police, and over 100 wounded. Prime Minister Binali Yildirim announced, updating an earlier toll, saying that the PKK had again showed its ugly face. The arrest of the HDP co-leaders along with 9 other MPs is a major escalation of a crackdown on leading pro-Kurdish politicians in the wake of the failed military coup in July. Viewers, we will take a short. Millennium TV USA has passed 3 years of success and going to start the 4th year. In this regard, the 3rd anniversary of Millennium TV USA will be observed on 11th November in a pleasing manner. The president of Millennium TV USA, Noor M. the Father, has cordially invited to all the Bangladeshi people who are available in America. The program will start at 4 afternoon and it will continue to 11:30 at night. From Newark office of Millennium TV, Nishat Noor has informed that the program will held at Al Amin Community Center, 2006 Westchester Avenue, Bronx, NY 10462, containing multicultural musical show and many others entertainment. For details, please contact with Millennium TV USA office. You can communicate with us over phone 7186396600, 7188776544. You can communicate with us through email info@millenniumtv.net. Don't forget to attend the program. Parliament must vote on whether the UK can start the process of leaving the EU, the High Court has ruled. This means the government cannot trigger Article 50 of the Lisbon Treaty, beginning formal exit negotiations with the EU on its own. Theresa May says the referendum and existing ministerial powers mean MPs do not need to vote, but campaigners call this unconstitutional. A statement is to be made to MPs, but the Prime Minister's official spokesman said the government had no intention of letting the judgmental derail Article 50 or the timetable we have set out. We are determined to continue with our plan. Labour leader Jeremy Corbyn urged the government to bring its negotiating terms to Parliament without delay, adding that there must be transparency and accountability to Parliament on the terms of Brexit. And UKIP leader Nigel Farage said they feared a betrayal of the 51.9% of voters who backed leaving the EU in June's referendum and voiced concern at the prospect of a half Brexit. BBC assistant political editor Norman Smith said if the court's decision was not overturned, there could be delays with potentially months and months of parliamentary hurdles. Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina warned of tougher actions against any attempt to create disorder in the name of politics under organized plots like that of the 2015 one staged by BNP. It was the wrong decision on the part of Khaleda Zia to boycott the general election in 2015. A political party must pray itself for any wrong decision of its own, Sheikh Hasina said while addressing a discussion organized by Bangladesh Awami League marking the jail killing day at Krishibid Institute. Sheikh Hasina, also the president of Awami League, said people of the country resisted them in 2015 when they tried to take revenge of their wrong decision on people, and in failure people will resist any such attempt. The premier said BNP and anti-liberation forces thought of sending Awami League to oblivion through killing Bangabandhu, the 4 national leaders and thousands of party leaders and workers in 1975 and afterwards. But they failed to do it as the root of Awami League is in deep of the people of the country, she said. The maritime ports of Chittagong, Cox's Bazar, Mongla and Paira have been advised to host distant cautionary signal number 3 as a deep convection is moving over the North Bay. The depression over the West Central Bay and adjoining area moved northwestward and now lies over the same area, and it was centered about 1085 km southwest of Chittagong Port, 1040 km southwest of Cox's Bazar Port, 955 km southwest of Mongla Port and 955 km southwest of Paira Port. It is likely to intensify further and move in a northwesterly direction, said a Met Office special bulletin. Under its influence, deep convection is continuing over the North Bay. Squally weather may affect the maritime ports and coastal areas of Bangladesh. Maximum sustained wind speed within 44 kilometers of the depression center is about 40 km per hour, rising to 50 km per hour in gusts. The sea will remain moderate near the depression center. All the fishing boats and trawlers over the North Bay have been advised to come close to the coast and proceed with caution till further notice. They have also been advised not to venture into the deep sea. Planning Minister AHM Mustafa Kamal said the present government of Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina is committed to improve the lot of the poor and downtrodden side by side with advancing the country in a faster way. The Awami League government has mapped out a comprehensive plan to make Bangladesh a middle-income country by 2021 by continuing the present development spree. He said this while addressing a stipend and certificate distribution program as the chief guest at ZH Science and Technology University here. MU Foundation awarded stipend to 6 students under 3 faculties of the university at the function. The minister said the government is working relentlessly for the welfare of the people. The government is also working for the development of country's road and transportation system, he added. The action camera maker reported sales of $240.6 million for the third quarter, down nearly 40% from the same period a year earlier and well below Wall Street's estimates. GoPro now expects to bring in between $1.25 million and $1.3 billion in revenue for the full year, down from its earlier estimate of $1.35 billion to $1.5 billion. To make matters worse, the company net loss of 0.6 per share, far worse than the consensus estimates among analysts. The stock was halted for about 35 minutes after the earnings release and quickly fell 20% when it resumed trading after hours. The Bank of England has made a dramatic rise to its inflation forecast for next year, predicting that the rate will almost triple. The bank now expects inflation to hit 2.7% next year, up from the current rate of 1%. It also raised its forecast for economic growth next year to 1.4% from 0.8%, but cut expectations for 2018 to 1.5% from 1.8%. An interest rate cut this year was no longer an option, the bank indicated. In light of the developments of the past 3 months, all MPC members agreed that the guidance it had issued following its August meeting regarding the likelihood of a further cut in the bank rate has expired, the bank said. The United Nations signed an agreement with the government of Bangladesh pledging $1.2 million for the next 4 years. The agreement, known as the United Nations Development Assistance Framework (UNDAF) 2017-2020, is also strategically planned to carry forward the legacy of the achievements of the MDGs. Senior Secretary of Economic Relations Division Mohammad Misbauddin and UN Resident Coordinator in Bangladesh Robert T. Watkins signed the agreement on behalf of their respective sites at the NEC Auditorium in Dhaka. Robert Watkins said that the UNDAF represents the commitment of the UN system to assist the government of Bangladesh in achieving its national development priorities presented in the 7th Five-Year Plan, 2021 Vision and the Sustainable Development Goals. Misbauddin welcomed UN country teams' continued contribution in enhancing development of Bangladesh through technical and programmatic support. Bangladesh requires a substantial increase in yearly investment from 29.0% of GDP in fiscal year 2015 to 34.4% of GDP by fiscal year 2020, said the International Chamber of Commerce, Bangladesh. The ICCB said this investment will be required to achieve Bangladesh's goal of middle-income country status by 2021 and to accelerate its inclusive growth as well as reduce poverty and income inequality. For its strategic location, Bangladesh has huge potential to attract more foreign direct investment as the central point of eastern part of South Asia, being a connector between South and East Asia, says the chamber body. More than $11 billion in external resources will be needed for public sector investment, it observes. The region's three major economies, China, Japan, and India, proposed making huge investment, mainly in infrastructure development, including energy, according to the ICCB. U.S. scientists say they have stumbled upon an economically practical and highly efficient way of converting a greenhouse gas largely blamed for global warming into an environmentally friendly fuel, a development that could boost the renewable energy industry. Researchers from the Oak Ridge National Laboratory in the U.S. states of Tennessee last month announced they serendipitously developed a catalyst that transformed carbon dioxide, a main greenhouse gas, into high yields of ethanol without the use of rare and expensive elements such as platinum. Ethanol produced from organic matter such as corn or sugar is the most widely used biofuel in the world. Many countries, including the United States and China, are increasingly attempting to make ethanol a mainstream fuel, like cutting the use of fossil fuels, which are blamed for the vast majority of harmful gas emissions driving climate change. Barcelona face a huge task to bounce back from defeat at the hands of old boss Pep Guardiola's Manchester City in midweek when the Spanish champions traveled to high-flying Sevilla. Barca trailed La Liga leaders Real Madrid by 2 points with Sevilla, who have won their last 7 home games, just a point further adrift. "We are coming into the game well," said Sevilla coach Jorge Sampaoli after his side moved to the brink of qualifying for the Champions League last 16 with a 4-0 thrashing of Dinamo Zagreb. On the top of their Champions League defeat in Manchester, Barca have sneaked past Valencia and Granada in their last 2 league outings as the absence of Gerard Piqué, Jordi Alba and Andres Iniesta has taken its toll. All three are expected to miss out once more at the Sanchez Pizjuan, with Rafinha or Ada Turan replacing Andre Gomes, the only change expected from the team that started at the Etihad Stadium. Chicago Cubs break late-game tie with 8-7 victory over Cleveland Indians, their first championship title since 1908. Ending more than a century of flops, futility, and frustration, the Chicago Cubs have won their first World Series baseball championship since 1908. Outlasting the Cleveland Indians 8-7 in 10 innings of a Game 7 thriller, considered lovable losers for generations. The Cubs nearly let this one get away too. All-star closer Aroldis Campman blew a 3-run lead with 2 outs in the 8th, with Rajai Davis hit a trying homer. But the Cubs came right back after a 17-minute rain delay before the top of the 10th. Ben Zobrist hit a run battle in double and Miguel Montero singled home a run to make it 8-6. Davis delivered an RBI single with 2 outs in the bottom half, but Mike Montgomery closed it out at 12:47 a.m. and the celebration was on. FIFA has opened disciplinary proceedings over the Republic of Ireland's use of a logo to commemorate the centenary of the Easter Rising. The Republic's players had the years 1916-2016 on their shirts during a friendly against Switzerland in March. FIFA's decision comes amid discussions with the English and Scottish football associations over wearing poppies for their Remembrance Day match. The most likely punishment will be a fine, the BBC's Richard Conway reports. The Easter Rising was an Irish rebellion against British rule which lasted for 24 to 29 April 1916 and resulted in 485 deaths. The opening match of the 4th Bangladesh Premier League BPL T20 cricket between Rajshahi Kings and Kumilla Victorians at Sheribangla National Cricket Stadium in Mirpur has been abandoned without a ball being bowled due to continuous rain. The match officials took the decision after re-inspecting the field at 4:50 p.m. After the inspection at 4:10 p.m., the match officials decided the cutoff time for a curtailed 5-over-a-side game to start it at 5:16 p.m., which was originally scheduled to start at 2:30 p.m. After the ill-fated match, both the teams shared 1 point each. Rajshahi Kings captain Darren Sammy won the toss and set Mashrafi bin Mortaza led defending champion Kumila Victorians to bat first in the match. Chairman of Dhaka Dynamites, Shayan F. Rahman announced Shakib Al Hassan as the team's captain and Nasir Hussain as vice-captain. The announcement came short after the official dinner of the team at a restaurant in the capital's Banani area, said a press release of Dhaka Dynamites. Before ending, the headlines are once again. Clinton-Trump duel in must-win states in a tightening race. New CNN ORC poll suggests new strength for Trump in Nevada, Clinton rise in Florida. Early voting update, black vote declining with 24.4 million ballots cast. Clinton accuses Trump of bullying women. Obama warns fate of world at stake. Ohio taps National Guard to defend election system from hackers. ISIL leader Baghdadi confident of Mosul battle victory. PM warns of tougher action against any case like 2015. Maritime ports asked to host signal number 3. And rain washes out 4th BPL T20 opener. This is all from now from Millennium Around the World newsroom. To get any kind of news, please visit to our social website facebook.com/MillenniumTVUSA and youtube.com/MillenniumTVUSA. Besides, to get the most updated news, please log in to our website www.millenniumtv.net. Stay with Millennium. Allah Hafiz.